Yeah, is that basically like probably Americans have more influences on different cultures, and I feel like British people are maybe more in their own little world a little bit.
When I think British, I think like 70s, like the punk scene in London.
Yeah, I think my first thought goes to soccer or football as well. Just been watching so many of the Euros games, watched a lot of the Premier League.
Well, the first thing that comes to mind for me is just because I'm so like socialized on the internet is like the basic British girl, like too much tan, like that kind of thing, but actually probably just pretty normal like an American.
I think the stereotype I think of is that they're very cold and not as friendly as Americans, but I have not found that to be true with the British friends that I have. They've all been just as friendly as Americans, just maybe not as effusive and not as talkative as Americans often are.
I'm not sure how to answer. I have like been to England and spent time around people, and I feel like there's been a lot of similarities to people that I've met before.
I went to London when I think I was 11, and I enjoyed it. We went to the Tower of London. A lot of history, a lot more history than there is here. A lot more interesting history. But yeah, I haven't been back there since, but I'd love to. Mm-hmm.
I have. I've only been to London though, so I haven't seen a lot of it. Just I guess the main area, or what people think of as the main area.
I first visited friends that were living there in Bury St. Edmunds in England. So I had been to London, and then I also studied abroad there for a little bit. So I spent primarily time in London and in Oxford.
I've never been out of the country, so I don't have any experience on my own.
Culturally, I think it's very different. I think it is more formal a lot of times. Obviously, the food is different. They're really into soccer, which is something that obviously is less popular here.
I think I jumped to like British literature versus American literature and those different traditions. And I think like British literature has a very like formal and long-running tradition of what the British novel is, while the American one is sort of always changing and reforming.
I had never like been to a formal tea before I went there, so that kind of practice was something that I noticed quite frequently. I also felt like people generally dressed like nicer. Like here, I feel like a lot of the time there's like people are more comfortable not dressing formally or wearing like exercise wear with more frequency than sometimes in other places.
In the UK, FKA Twigs, Robert Pattinson, Emma Watson, I guess, and like Daniel Radcliffe from like Harry Potter.
So maybe lesser known, but I really like a singer named Laura Marling, who's British, and Benjamin Clementine, who's also British. Yeah, I think they're both amazing, and yeah, big fans.
My favorite actress is Keira Knightley, and so she's a favorite, but also Harry Styles is a musician that I really love, and I love how he plays with style and his music and kind of all of that together.
FKA Twigs is the only one that comes to mind. I'm, again, not a big celebrity person. I was just listening to X-Ray Specs on the way here.
Just bad at remembering like celebrities' names and things, so I don't have a ton of answers otherwise. But I know there are many actors and other celebrities that I have been inspired by over the years. Names are just eluding me right now. So.